Yes, we're quite smooth today, are we not, Nigel?
We are.
Because we're having to go off our beaten path to Birmingham. We don't like Birmingham, do we, Nigel?
No, don't like Birmingham.
Fucking war zone. And anything that takes us away from our rustic country market towns and quiet roads.
Go right on the roundabout, second exit.
It's a pain in the balls. But we wouldn't normally go out of our way to Birmingham, but we've got to do a favour for our build friend Sam Smith. Baby! You make me crazy! Not quite in time there, Nige. But we're going to see Sam today, who's got a big job over in Leamington, and his client also has a flat over in Birmingham, and he's put a new kitchen in for them, but there's some electrical work required. We're going to try and do something that we don't normally do, which is an electrical inspection and a consumer unit upgrade, potentially, all on the same day. Normally we do our inspection on one day, and then based on the results of that we then come in and do our consumer unit upgrade. And that's because the inspection may highlight things that need remedial work, or some kind of workaround because something's not quite right, like breaks in the ring or something like that, something that's got to be sorted or worked around, or something's got to be done with it. So it's quite hard to turn up with a consumer unit under your arm and all the necessary protected devices for a job that you haven't tested and inspected, or even in this case seen. We've never been here before, so goodness knows what we got here. We have just been to CEF to stock up on a load of CP FuseBox gear, and we've just been badly let down because their stocks were terrible. We did wonder about perhaps going with a different brand, but I do like the CP FuseBox stuff, and they're good for RCBO boards. And the trouble is, I think the likes of Hager are sort of pricing themselves out of the market, really. They're fucking hell. They're the Amendment 3 boards, and especially surge protection, they're asking so much for them, and you kind of think, well, it's just not so cost effective anymore. So we've armed ourselves with everything that CEF have got, and we're hoping that it's going to be the right stuff. But if it's not, we'll just have to do the T&I today and then come back and do the upgrade another day, which will be a pain in the arse because we just want to go to Birmingham once. Well, not even once, eh, Nige? Get in, get out, get done. So we'll see how today goes. And you know, if we decide that it's only like a 2-bedroom flat, Sam tells us. So if it turns out that it's more complicated than that, or it's too much of a pain in the arse and we just haven't got the right kit, then we will knock the job on the head. We've got other jobs we can go and do, and we'll have to come back another day. So we're not trying to shortcut it, we're not trying to rush it, we're just going to see what we're in for. And what we're in for at the moment is a fucking grey day. And how come it's always people in grey road coloured cars who drive in the fog without any fucking lights on? Look at this here in the Discovery. No fucking lights on. Grey car in the fog. What an asshole. We've got our Christmas CD, which we haven't got on for copyright reasons at the moment, otherwise Nigel will be hearing Christmas chowns, much to his enjoyment. Humbug.
Christmas is great because it means 2 weeks off work away from you.
Last Christmas, I was partway through my Christmas Eve and about to hit the eggnog when I got a call from a customer on a big job we've been doing. Actually, it was a job we've been doing with Sam Smith. Baby, you make me crazy! But I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've got to go out and look at this nuisance trip job. What the hell's going on here? Fucking RCD going. And we just put a new socket circuit in top floor, and she said to me, oh, it's whenever I plug my hairdryer in on the top floor. I'm thinking, well, that doesn't sound right. Not for an RCD trip. It's not even an unearthed appliance, for fuck's sake. So went out and had a look, and because she said to me, oh, it's whenever I use this circuit on the top floor, put my hairdryer, I'm looking at a hairdryer and I'm looking at this circuit on the top floor, going, I can't find a damn thing wrong here, it's exactly right. And then I thought, you know what, why am I listening to her? Why am I taking the client's word for it here? I should be fucking checking this out properly, the board. Took the board apart, checked the second circuit on there, which was to the boiler, and turned out to be a fault with the central heating that the plumber had just put in. So it's a fucking plumber's fault, not mine. The circuit was fine up to the central heating, and it was after the spur that it was.
And he wasn't coming
off.
out at Christmas.
No, you can bet he fucking wasn't there Christmas Eve. So this Christmas, I'm turning my shitting phone off. One for you on the radio here, Nigel.
You're like about Birmingham, smooth fucking road.
This doesn't look like a bad bit though, does it? We're not quite in the fucking militarised zone yet. You never find a fucking parking space in Birmingham. Nice. Right, give him a knock then, Martian. It's Sam Smith. Baby, you make me crazy.
Oh my god. Started already? Yes.
Oh, it's nice and warm in here, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
Got a fuse link here. So the main fuse for the place is, we think, on the ground floor, but we can't get into the fuse room now, into the intake room.
Right.
So if we change the board, we'll have to take that link out because they haven't given us any means of isolation, as usual. 6mm main earth, gas bondings under here. .25mm tails. Well, how easy it'd be to get a 16 earth through there.
But no, till we take the board out.
The trouble is we've got no idea what this place is fused at. Isn't this arm there, is
I'd
it?
have thought flat's going to be 60.
60 to 80 probably, but that's an assumption. You know what they say about assumptions? Assumptions are the mother of all fat caps. Just been going around doing a functional test, making sure the lights work, making sure the sockets buzz out on a basic socket tester with without complaining that the polarity is wrong or the earth is missing. What did you find, Nige? We found that two light switches here, seemingly
I would assume they're old.
a mystery and don't do anything.
Yeah, assumption.
I presume that's for the outside light. I say presume because that's the hall and there is a khaki looking outside light there which isn't working. Electric shower.
Yeah.
What have you found with these FCUs?
We've got an FCU and an old isolator.
Okay.
I would assume we
this
had
will be
a
an old immersion
boiler,
heater point.
yeah.
Hob's on its own circuit. Oven's hanging off the sockets. It's 2.3 kilowatts.
Yep.
And here's the money shot. What we have in here is a BS3036 rewirable fuse board. Obviously original to the property. I noticed there's a doorbell transformer next to it, but no sign of any doorbell. The khaki wiring here is for the outside light by the looks of it. It's probably the case that 16 amp circuit, the blue one is, I imagine, well, that 15 amp circuit is doing nothing. That's probably the old immersion heater point.
Yeah.
Is your Makita going to stand all day being in here now?
Yeah, we'll stand for a few days now.
Right. Top fired up. So, we need to go around and plug everything and start doing some tests. Start with the big reveal, and it's never as easy as you want it to be, is it, Nigel? What have we got here?
We've got 4 lighting circuits, it appears. One of them's going to be the outside light.
6mm cooker, that's got to be the shower, hasn't it?
Yeah.
6mm. Socket ring, immersion heater, 2 wires for the lights. I reckon one of them is perhaps the outside light. 2 wires on this lighting circuit, one of which is going to the doorbell.
Yeah.
However, there is a wire coming off the doorbell, but there's no doorbell out there, is there?
So you just go.
Oh, it's a shockwave from that one. Bloody hell.
Yeah. I wonder if it's from downstairs.
Well, I don't see any ringer in here. No, we're going to have to go down and take a look.
Or bullet dodging.
No, that's just these outside.
See, if I've shut that doesn't open.
Yeah, but there's no bell. Oh, there is an entry system.
Yeah. I'm going to go up and see where that is. So give me a minute. Yeah?
Right. Bearded prick. Here, fucking dodging the gunfire. I can't, I'm up here now. Oh, there is a doorbell here. The question is, does that doorbell work with the fusing? Now, where's that? Is it in there?
There. It's there.
Oh, crap. So
Oh, and there's the buzzer.
we have got a doorbell. We have the cover off. Let's use our 859, TIS 859 to verify, and my proving units verify that. Oh shit, I've got the probe stuck in there. Wasn't supposed to happen.
That happens when you've got a large probe.
Jesus. Tail's coming in alive. You want to check that our main switch is actually doing nothing. I can verify my proving tester again on a known good source on my proving unit. So it would appear, Nigel, that our isolator is functioning. There we go. We've done one test today. And now my phone's ringing again. Hopefully it's a CEF. Edward? Oh, have we?
He said they haven't got a lot on. He'll be back with them fairly soon and he can probably get it out in the next couple of hours.
He is a star.
So yes,
So,
we are, we owe Leon it.
well, I shall make sure Nigel gives him a hand job when he turns up. Nigel, you've got to give the CEF driver a hand job. And Ed when we get back to Warwick. Okay, so that's 2 B32s and 2 B6s, is it?
Yep, spot on.
Nice one. We're just getting the postcode from Sam Smith. Baby, you make me crazy. Well done, Edward. My faith in CEF has been restored. Not that it was ever shaken that badly. Nice one, matey. Thanks for that. Bye bye. Should be delivered within a couple of hours.
You're going to have to blank out the address on the video.
This video probably never get published anyway. Head down, Marge, head down. Go, go, go. Come on. Just got the central locking fix on this thing.
in there, for Christ's sake. Fucking snipers everywhere.
Go.
Jesus, what a scene.
Right, connected to the main earth. Need my numbers for loop impedance and fault current. So let's go to the loop impedance menu. Furniture shifting. Are you a furniture shifter? Remember those PG Tips adverts with the chimps that removing pianos?
And the removal.
That reminds me of you for some reason. I can't quite picture why. We don't normally, well, you're going to make a determination on the ICR as to what furniture you're going to shift, because obviously you have to get to some electrical accessories. Some you can't get to because it's behind fitted furniture, like in a kitchen, for example. In a bedroom like this, we're not going to damage the floor by moving this out. It's a bit heavy. We could lighten the load by taking the drawers out, but we're just going to try and sort of tip it forward, get rid of some of the spaghetti behind here and get to the socket outlet. And the reason for that being we've got quite a high R2 on the socket, so we want to make sure that the CPC connections are tight on any outlets we can actually physically get to. I think there are some in the kitchen we just can't, but let's see if we can get to this one. If we just tip it forward, Nigel, if you can just grab those cables there. Brilliant stuff. Just sort of falling out a bit here, but if we can just get to that one, and then just move this. That's the way. That's enough room.
There you go.
And then we ought to be able to see what we can see on this. Okay, well the CPCs are okay in here. It's a little bit dusty, but it's a good job we did move this unit to take a look at this, because you can see the faceplate itself is physically broken. There's a break on the around the earth there, so it was worth our while removing this unit and having a closer look at this accessory. And that's the thing with a lot of people who do the sort of the drive-by EICRs, who do it in a quick and lackluster way, would perhaps just look at a chest of drawers like that and think, to hell with that, I'm not moving that to take a look behind it. I know there's a socket there, but what the hell. But you've got to really, if you're doing the inspection with any kind of real diligence, then you need to be getting to any accessory you can get to. Obviously, if it were too difficult to have shifted this furniture, then best not to do it. But where you can get to accessories, it's best to do so. You got a number off that one, Nige?
Yeah, well, just off from here, I'll just the other end as well.
Noisy build-up. We're going to replace that light anyway, so
I just want to get off.
yeah, we may as well take that down. Nige just on the last readings for this board, which is now in bits. We've got our numbers, so we'll be able to stick our new one on shortly. Just have another look at how that goes through there. I'll try and shoehorn a 16mm through there. I can see light actually. If you can see light, you're all right. So we need some 16mm. We're going to have to cut this seal to remove the fuse link. It's been a bit awkward to film today because the bloody builder's making so much damn noise in the kitchen next to us. But one thing about being in flats is you had a good view of the looters being rounded up against the wall there.
Chaos.
Oh.
Yeah. And what are they doing with them down there?
I don't know, they're not going to... No, surely not.
No, it doesn't happen in this country. Oh, fucking hell.
Mind you though, he's still going on the end now.
He is. Oh no, they've finished him up.
The old coup de grace. That'll learn them.
Oh, I see that old woman down there. She's stuck. She's got some spunk in her. She's
fighting
limping
back.
away. Yeah. She's going for it. Never thought someone that age would be able to. You know? I don't know, modern Britain. Well, at least plenty of people got their tellies for Christmas.
Citizens, you are reminded that curfew begins at 2200 hours and any transgressors will be executed.
Should get danger money for this lot, shouldn't we, Nige? Right.
Well, we made it back up.
What we're going to put in here is another CP FuseBox board. Only a 6-way because it's a small flat, has 5 circuits. We're not going to reconnect the redundant immersion heater circuit because it's not doing anything. We're going to leave it there in case anyone ever wants it in the future. But it's not like anyone's ever going to ask for exterior electrics or a car charge point or anything else. They've already got a shower circuit, already got a cooker circuit. The chances of requiring other circuits here in any kind of quantity are fairly remote, so I think one spare way ought to suffice.
Yep.
We are going to fit a SPD. You open that please, Nige. Simply because we do these days. Oh, hello.
There's room for 5 circuits.
You wash your hands there, son?
Oh yes, definitely.
Is it safe to go in there?
5 circuits and a 2-way.
Yeah, because the SPD sits to the right of the main switch.
Ah, right, okay, there's room there.
They got
Yeah, we got
they got the tails and stuff with it.
bits and bobs.
Lovely. Why are we fitting an SPD, Nige?
Well, it's a surge protection device. So it's for surges. We are in a shared community.
Yeah, you know what, it's domestic, it's urban, we probably don't need to be fitting an SPD, but better to have and not need than need and not have. And this isn't a job that's been quoted for, this is just a just get the fuck on with it job, so we'll do it our way. And I'd rather see an SPD in there than not. Fully RCBO board, or it will be. We're waiting for cities to come and deliver some RCBOs. We brought some with us, but because we didn't know quite what was here, we haven't quite got what we wanted. So rather than jerry rig it, cities have said that they're going to send the van out and we'll be able to put them in.
I hear a siren. Maybe that's it. Or maybe that's the rights that's going on.
Right, so while Nige replaces the loo light. Fucking hell, Sam. Jesus. I'm not going to give that 10 minutes. I'm going to get that off the wall. Hopefully the tails are long enough for this new board. Looks like they ought to be. We've got a route through where you can stick a new 16mm earth.
Yep.
So hopefully the physical changeover will be fairly straightforward. As I say, we don't normally do both the inspection and the changeover in one day, but because it's quite small here,
Don't like.
and because the test numbers have been pretty good, the only duff number has been a high R2 or higher than expected on the sockets. We haven't been able to find what's causing that, but the earth fault loop impedance remains well within tolerance, so we're going to run with it, because it may be that, you know, even having all the sockets off and checking everything's tight, if there's something hiding somewhere that we just can't physically find or physically see.
We don't want to come back to this dystopian nightmare.
Yeah, I'm not sure we'd survive a second visit, to be fair. I'm not even sure we're going to get out of here alive, so this all may be a moot point.
Yeah.
I think I'll save the certificate on the laptop there until later, if I survive.
Yeah.
Saves me doing it now. Right, so time to undeaden that by removing that fuse link. I call it a fuse link, it's a link in the fuse way. Because there's no other way to isolate it. We've got no access to the incomer downstairs or anything.
Look at oil these, they've gone a bit stiff in the weather.
I'm not going to film you doing anything naughty, Nigel. As you can see, there's no seal on this thing, so someone must have removed that at some stage. Don't know who or when, but there you go.
Yes. I'll just leave that there. Okay.
Asshole. See, the CP FuseBox boards still aren't coming with grommet strip for your sharp edges. I've got some that I just fished out my toolbox here. I've got to say, edging strip, grommet strip is a fucking pain in the arse. And this sort of stuff just doesn't work, because the moment you start pushing your cables through, they catch and the whole damn thing comes off, and it's such a faff to get on. It's just, there's got to be a better way than this. The only stuff I've ever found that works is this sort of, what do you call it, this toothed strip, which comes with the MK boards, and which goes on. Oh, look how easily that goes on, and it's nice and firm as well, so that when something hits it, it doesn't pop back off again and like this rubbish. So, you know, it's just like this, like some silicone stuff or something. I've had some as well that's stiffer than that, more plasticky, and just as bad, difficult to get on, doesn't stay around the corners, and the moment a cable starts passing through, off it jolly well pops. So CE manufacturers, this is the stuff I want to start seeing on these things, in lieu of any better way of doing it, because like I say, it pops on easily and it bloody well stays on. So let's see more of this and less of this, because this is going in the bin and it's going to end up being dumped in the ocean and a fucking dolphin's going to choke on it. So give me this sort of stuff, or tell me where I can buy it from, because I've never actually seen a reel of it anywhere. Have you, Nigel? But look at that, it's just a pleasure to put on. In fact, Nigel, I believe you're getting a bit of a fatty on just looking at it, aren't you? Oh dear. And we are back in business. 16mm tail now going into the earth on there, and I've resealed the link. I've put a basic seal on there just to stop someone from yanking it out without making without being able to get out without the use of a tool. The original tails were fortunately long enough. And here's the business end. Again, not the neatest of jobs, but we're on the clock today, so we have to get it in as quickly as possible. Right is rapidly failing. Shower, cooker, ring circuit, and then we got the lighting, the two lighting circuits. I wouldn't ordinarily double up lighting circuits, but the doorbell goes with one and the outside light goes with the other. That's the way it was when we came in. I don't think it's worth really putting the doorbell and the outside light on their own individual RCBOs. It's just extra expense. It would require a larger board. So while I don't normally like doubling up circuits like that, it just doesn't make economic sense not to do so here. We've left this circuit here doing nothing. That was the old immersion heater circuit. It's still there. It's a good circuit, but it's not doing anything. No point wiring it into an RCBO, so it's there for expansion if needed. Nigel's going around doing the functional check. Our testing has all passed, so there shouldn't be any issues, but Nigel's going around plugging everything back in, switching everything back on, and making sure that everything does what it's supposed to be doing. So we need to get the cover on, label up, and get the hell out of Dodge. Oh yeah, Nigel's got a new light up there. Have you tried that to see if that comes on and off, Nigel, that you haven't hooked it up? Well, I'll be damned. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'll be goddamn, Nigel Marsh. Asshole. And of course, Sam Smith's still here.
Hello.
Baby, you make me crazy.
Is that even a song?
How the fuck knows, mate?
I think it
I
is.
thought it was one of yours. Right, let's get this cover on, labelled up, and get the fuck out of Brummie. There we go. Escape at last. Well, there we go. That was a pointless video, wasn't it, Nigel?
It was.
Because we hardly showed any inspection and testing, and we didn't really show us changing the fuse box.
After 200 metres,
We were pushed
go
for
right
time
on the
today.
roundabout.
Yeah, we don't
Third
normally like
exit.
to rush it like that. We wouldn't ordinarily undertake both jobs in a day, as we've already said several times. But also, we couldn't really set the camera up in that cupboard. It was in a bit of an awkward location, wasn't it, that box?
Yeah. And we did have Sam Smith on site. So, you know.
I can't remember the soundbite.
Learning our mama!
We need to know more Sam Smith songs to take the piss out of him
Yeah.
properly. I feel we haven't taken the piss enough out of Sam,
Go right on the roundabout. Third exit.
and that we've perhaps wasted an opportunity today. But yes, it was a bit of a rush today to squeeze all that in. We were fortunate that it was such a small place. It was only a 2-bedroom flat. We were fortunate that the test results were pretty good. The only number we didn't like was a R2 on the sockets, which is a little bit higher than what we expected it to be, not by much, but we couldn't find the reason for that. But I mean, that's the trouble with going into some installations, though, isn't it, Nigel? Is that you're not always going to get a perfect installation. Obviously, if you've installed it yourself, you know where everything goes, you know how it's connected, you know it's all new wiring, and that it's all in as you intended it to be. Then you could expect perfect test results. When you're out in the field, then you're going to get some places where the numbers don't quite add up, and short of ripping up people's floors and knocking holes in their walls, you probably haven't got a lot of chance sometimes to find where the problems are, let alone do anything about them. So what we always say is, have we left it in a safer condition or a worse condition than we first arrived at the start of today? And I think it's a safer installation, don't you, Nige?
I do think it's a much better installation.
Indeed so. Everything is now RCD protected on a fully RCBO board, unlike this morning when there was no residual current protection at all. The main earth has been beefed up. We know that all the connections in the board are nicely torqued.
We did a couple of repairs.
Yes, some running repairs were made.
Bonding was disconnected, weren't it?
Yeah, and there's some loose connections sorted out. The light in the bathroom, which was missing its cover and exposing live parts, that's now been replaced with a new light. We also found a cable disconnected under the sink, which was live and had just been taped up. That's now been taken care of. So overall, we can go away today knowing that the installation is in a safer condition than before we started. And although there may be things there that you might argue aren't completely perfect, like the ring end-to-end on the earth on the CPC, well,
We tried
not much we could do with that.
it, but you know, it's
We looked for it, we couldn't find it. We had the sockets off, we checked the tightness of connections. There may be something that we just couldn't see. It was obscured by furniture. Obviously you've got a fitted kitchen in there now, which has only just gone in. God knows what's behind those cabinets, but you know, we can't get to them. There's nothing we can do about that. So it's just a case of deal with what you can see, what you can do, and know that you've left the world in a slightly better place. And now let's get the fuck out of this goddamn hellhole.
yeah. My nerves are strung.
Jesus, did you hear all the sirens today?
Yeah. All that shouting.
They're trying to keep us in Birmingham, Nige.
I know. Check out. You never leave.
They're improving our journey, Nige.
Improving my journey? No. They're fucking up my journey.
Will we never get out of Birmingham?
Just gonna escape.
Oh, Jesus, just when you think you're there. Roadwork's been here since May. Delays possible, they say. No shit. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, at least it's moving.
It is for the moment.
We're on our way home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
That's it, we never have to come back to Birmingham again.
Your words to wrap it up?
Yeah, fuck yow!
Ta-ra, a bit.
Oh Jesus, look at this speed restriction coming up.
Well, that's Birmingham, isn't it? Speed restrictions, rioting, shooting.
Looting. You're darn tooting.